Parker. Yes? For PS 110, do I hear yes? Yes? 132? Yes? Okay, Ms. Parker, please.
I'm honored to continue speaking for all of you. Thank you. So, I'll continue. Third graders studying Africa, exploring their learning through the arts, making masks, dance, drumming, technology for research, oral presentations for group work, collaborations with the Greenpoint Monitor Museum commemorating the 150th launching of the USS Monitor for a 5th grade unit on the Civil War, very local. And the next category, we're going to go to everyday math. This we found funny. Citizens 1 and 2 promised to use everyday math in their curriculum. In grades K through 5, everyday math, students have been shown to learn as well or better than students at similar stages of mathematics development. Well, everyday math has been mandated by the New York City Department of Ed for almost 10 years now. And the New York City Department of Ed has been holding out on releasing materials for this program next year because they question its efficacy. To embrace everyday math, when the New York City Department of Ed, when our schools are finding it wanting, defies reason. Now, in your proposal, this is evidence. I mean, I found this astonishing. You went to the makers of everyday math to get your data to support everyday math, rather than teachers in the classroom. Our neighborhood schools, along with most DOE schools, use a combination of daily practice and hands-on curriculum like TURC, Context for Learning, and Singapore math. Proven. Next subject, the arts, and this is a fun one. Williamsburg, Greenpoint, Bushwick has long been on the cutting edge of contemporary art music for well over 2 decades. Long before the infamous artists moved into the district, the Puerto Rican community developed strong social justice movements with rich connections to the arts, most memorably La Puente and Música con las Drogas. Our neighborhood schools have built upon that commitment to social justice Or in kid language, reading like you're talking is a story more fun to read and easier to understand. Well, on the surface, the purpose may appear to be having a good time. The teacher knows that she's driving towards a performance indicator, read with sufficient accuracy and fluency to